Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It's another lovely Aloha Friday here on the islands. And as you can see, we have a new host, a new hostess. She has no name yet, so stay tuned. So this morning in our class, my focus is, because we haven't really talked a whole lot about Kapha Dosha yet, we've really done a lot of work for Vata, and we've done a decent amount of focusing our classes on cooling and calming Pitta, but we haven't really talked a lot about Kapha. Kapha in our body is the dosha that is made up of earth and water. Please pardon me if I get so totally distracted. So it's made of earth and water, and it's the nourishing factor in the body. So remember that Vata is the mover, and Pitta is the transformer, and Kapha is the nourishing factor. So it gives us our strength, our stability, gives us good memory. And all of the dosha rule a time of day and a time of life. And Kapha rules the very first part of our day, just like it rules the very first part of our life. And so when we get up in the morning, it can be a little tough if you have a Kapha imbalance, or just because it's the Kapha time of the day and those qualities are most active. And so it can be a little slow going in the morning for Kapha individuals. So my focus this morning is to just offer a short, simple practice that you can do in the morning just to get your Kapha going, to kind of wipe off that sluggishness. All right. So from a seated position, I'm going to go ahead and chant Om 3 times, and then we'll start lying down. So find a comfortable seat, one that's easy to move into a reclined position, and go ahead and bring your hands up together in front of your heart. We share the sound Om this morning to help harmonize us. Even though that we're not together live, it still helps to connect us through time and space. Inviting a nice deep breath in to begin. Beautiful. From here, we're going to start in a reclined position, not necessarily Shavasana, but go ahead and come and lie on your back. This is going to be funny. Okay. And first thing you want to do is just tuck your shoulders underneath you. She'll calm down. Tuck your shoulders underneath you and let your palms roll open. And just take a few relaxing breaths. Deep breath in through the belly, maybe even a few open mouth exhales to help the body surrender and relax. She'll get used to this. You gotta lay down, girl. Good. And then from the reclined position, just stretch and squeeze your feet and toes a few times. You're so cute. Okay, I'm sure some of you have some puppies all over you too, or maybe babies, whichever one, they're all cute. All right, so we're tucking the shoulders underneath. Let the toes and the fingers roll out for a minute. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose, gentle sigh out the mouth. As you're waking up, using this as a very good way to wake up the body in the morning. Good, and then just stretch the toes and the fingers. Give them a good squeeze. Stretch and squeeze, stretch and squeeze. Good, and then just right here, let's just move the ankles and the wrists a little bit. You want to wake up in the morning just like you're waking up out of a shavasana. So starting to come back into the body slowly. Good, and then from here, go ahead and hug your right knee into your chest. Good, and then bring the forehead up to the knee. And back down, stretch the arms up overhead as you send your right foot back out. And then exhale as you bring the left knee into the chest. Forehead up. Good. Release the forehead back down. Inhale, stretch up, send your left foot back out. And then exhale, pull the right knee into the chest, tuck the chin, forehead to the knee. Good. Inhale, relax and reach in opposite directions. Exhale, draw the left knee in, tuck the chin, forehead to the knee. Good. Inhale and stretch. We're going to do this just a few more times, and if it's starting to feel like you want a little bit more activity, you can keep your extended leg lifted, keep your head up, and we'll start to engage the abs a little bit more. So left knee in, switch to the right side. Keep that extended leg hovering so we really activate the abdominals. Good, one more time each side. Good, and then let your head come back down and place your feet on the floor. Take your arms out to a goalpost position. Good, bring the knees up and gently lower them over to the left. Good. Ground through your right shoulder, roll your head open to look out towards the right side. Make this all very gentle since this is the first kind of movement or twist we might be doing in the morning. Good. Bring the knees back up through center and then lower them down to the right side. Grounding through your left shoulder and maybe looking out over the left arm. Good. Inhale, come back up through center. Place both feet down on the floor and then extend your right leg up. Take a hold of the back of your right hamstring and gently pull the toes towards the head. Getting a nice stretch to the back of the right hamstring. Great, and then here, go ahead and place your right ankle on top of your left knee and draw the left knee into the chest. Keep both feet flexed so that you protect the knee joint. By flexing your foot, you activate all these tiny little muscles and tendons around the knee so it keeps that joint safe. Beautiful. Okay, from here, go ahead and set the feet down. And then extend your left leg up, take a hold of the back of the left hamstring, and gently pull the toes towards the face. We'll take 3 breaths here. In through the nose and out through the mouth is a good way to get kapha activated and starting to bring us back into the body after a nice long night of rest. Good. From here, place the left ankle on top of the right knee and pull the right knee into the chest. Good. Again, keeping both feet flexed. Very, very nice. Okay. Good, and then again, place both feet back on the floor. Go ahead and heel toe your feet out to the edge of your mat and just slightly or gently sway the knees left and right. Continuing to warm up our hips. Good, and then from here, we're going to roll up to Navasana, which is boat pose. So we're going to bring the knees up, shins parallel to the floor. Take a hold of the back of your knees or hamstrings and just start a gentle rocking. We don't want to rock up on the first one. We want to take maybe 3 or 4 times. It's a really nice massage to the back. It starts to get our circulation moving. And then we're going to pop right up, boom, into Navasana. It takes a little bit of control. It's very good to start activating kapha. If you're feeling very stable on your sits bones and you're not rolling back onto your sacrum, then consider either extending your arms out in front of you or maybe up overhead and maybe extending your legs out, whichever feels available for you this morning. Good. Okay, then all the way forward, set your feet down, bring the soles of the feet together, and we'll move into a Baddha Konasana. So from here, I want you to take your hands to the fronts of your shins, and we'll just start with a little bit of dynamic movement. So we're going to inhale as we draw the hands into the shins, lift the heart, Exhale, slightly round the back, bring the chin to the chest. Inhale and lift. Exhale and round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Good, inhale, lift. And then this time, exhale, hinge at your hips and start to walk your hands out in front of you. You can bring your forearms down onto the mat. You might have a block in front of you. And just come into a nice, comfortable Baddha Konasana. We're not trying to overstretch or overactivate any of the muscles for our first sort of movement for the day. If it's comfortable for you, you can place your head down on the block or all the way to the floor. Or you can stack your wrists and rest your forehead on your hands. We'll take 3 long breaths here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Baddha Konasana bound angle pose is another great posture for starting to open up the hips that tend to get tight when we don't move around too much. And this is a good way for us to slowly build heat in the body. That's what we want to do with kapha. We need to start them slowly and on the ground. And then once we get up and moving, we can move into some more challenging standing postures. Good. And here, just walk your arms or walk yourself all the way up. We're going to assist the knees, bring them up, and then extend your legs out. And we'll just do a really gentle forward fold here. So go ahead and adjust the flesh of the legs so that you can connect your sits bones to the floor. Sit up nice and tall with your hands right by your sides, and then just walk yourself forward into a really gentle forward fold this morning. And you might even want to consider bending your knees so that you can find some connection with the torso and the thighs. You don't need to grab or grip anything. In fact, I'll just mimic that and come into more of a surrendering type posture. Good. Continue to breathe deeply here. And just feel into the body. If it feels good to start extending your legs a little bit further out, you can check in and see how that feels. Good. Keep flexing the feet so that we activate the muscles in the back side of the leg or stretch them. Good. And then just walk yourself up to a seated position. Go ahead and tuck your feet back into a crisscross applesauce or cross-leg position, and then just transition forward right onto your hands and knees. Good. So usually with a kapha individual, if we try to do too much movement straight out the gate, we lose them. So we've really got to start slow. Okay, so let's start to warm up the spine a little bit more. I want you to take your hands out to the edge of your mat and line up the pinkies with the outer edge. And then press into the base of each knuckle. And for this cat-cow version, I want you to have your hands just slightly in front of your shoulders. So here's right underneath my shoulder. Here's slightly in front of my shoulder. And same thing with the knees. The knees are usually right underneath the hip. We're just going to take them back just a little bit. All right. From here, inhale, lower the belly. Good. Bring the chin and tailbone up. Push the floor away from you and take a deep breath in. Good. As you exhale, start to round the tailbone, rippling through the spine as you draw the chin towards the chest and push the floor away from you. Good. Inhale, stretch the belly, untuck the tailbone and the chin. Look forward as you stretch into the belly. Exhale, round. And try to start these movements with the breath, and then the hips will follow. So we inhale. Hips can then come into the action. Good. Push the floor away from you and look up. Good. Exhale and round. Okay, adding a little bit more movement to this. As you inhale, shift forward so that the shoulders come right over the fingertips. Good. Untuck the tailbone, untuck the chin. And then exhale, round into the back. And when your back is at its highest arch, send the hips back towards the heels. We're not going to go all the way into child's pose, but just a little kind of modified downward dog or puppy pose. Good. And then inhale again, lowering the belly, lifting the chin, bringing the shoulders out towards the fingertips. And exhale, round, shifting back, coming into this modified downward dog. Inhale forward one more time. Good, and then exhale, draw the toes under, and this time send the hips up and back into downward dog. So you might feel like this downward dog is a little bit bigger than your normal downward dog, but that's what we're going for. We're offering a little bit more space for Kapha and the Kapha body type. And just really appreciates a little bit more space. Beautiful. Okay, from here, we're going to walk the hands back to the feet, all the way back. Good, slide your hands up the back of the legs, tuck the thumbs into the hip crease, draw the elbows and shoulders back, and then inhale to come all the way up. Release the arms at the top, reach up, look up, and then exhale, hinging forward, come all the way back down. Hands to the front of the shins, inhale, lift. Good, exhale, plant your hands, and then inhale, walk all the way back out to a high push-up position. Good, shoulders over the wrists. Nice engaged legs, belly is active, and then exhale back into this very long or big downward dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, shift back into this high push-up position, and then lower the knees and the chest and chin to the floor. Slide the feet back, anchor your pubic bone, and slowly lift or peel the heart away from the floor. Little baby Bhujangasana. Good. From here, slide the hands back so they're closer to the low ribs and come up through your hands and knees and then back to downward dog. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, walk the hands back to the feet. All the way back. And then up the back of the legs, tuck the thumbs in the hip crease, elbows and shoulders back. Inhale to come all the way up. Release, reach up, look up. And then exhale, hinge forward, all the way back down, hands on either side of the feet. Inhale, press into the shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Good, again, walk all the way back out, all the way to this high push-up position. And then exhale into downward dog. Take one breath here. Good, inhale back into the high push-up position. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Bring the elbows in tight. Slide your feet back, anchor the pubic bone, and peel the heart away from the earth. Good, draw the hands back, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press up through the hands and knees, and then back to downward dog. Beautiful, deep breath in. Exhale, walk the hands back to the feet. Good, this time, inhale, come all the way up, take the arms out to the sides, reach up to look up, and then exhale, hinge right back down. Exhale all the way back out. Hands to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and walk back out. Good. We're going to go through this one more time, right into the high push-up position. Exhale, back to downward dog for 2 breaths. Nice deep breath in. Long controlled breath out. One more time in. Deep breath out. Good, and then shift forward into the high push-up position. You can lower all the way to the floor here if you like, or you can go knees, chest, and chin. Anchor the pubic bone, anchor the tops of the feet, and then inhale, baby Bhujangasana. Good, this time I want you to take your hands behind your back. We need to do some chest opening for Kapha because it has one of its main sites in the lung. So from here, draw the elbows and shoulders back, reach back into your hands, lift the heart and chest a little bit more, and then lift one leg and then the other. Good. So keep reaching back for your feet. Keep breathing deeply. This is a good chest opener. It helps to feed our enthusiasm. It helps us find that excitement for our day, which can be lacking in Kapha individuals or Kapha imbalances. Good. Exhale, release everything down, forehead to the floor. Hands by the chest or ribs. Press up to your hands and knees, and then back to downward dog. 2 full breaths. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Good. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. And again, from here, walk your hands all the way back to the feet. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Good. And from here, walk up to the top of your mat. Good. Now, it might be nice to have some blocks here, so I'm just going to grab those. All right. So up at the top, hands together in front of the heart. We're going to interlace the fingers, send the palms out and up as we lift up onto the toes. Here comes my little love. And then exhale the heels down, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Hands plant on either side of the feet and step back, deep lunge with the right foot. Let's start by bringing the knee all the way to the floor. Good, you can be on your fingertips, you might be on blocks. We just want to let the hips sink down, lift your heart, and take a breath. Great, from here we'll set the blocks off to the side. Plant the hands around that left foot, lift your back knee, and step back into downward facing dog. This time, inhale, shift yourself forward, shoulders over the wrists, and keep shifting the shoulders towards the fingers and start to lower the thighs down. Untuck your feet. Use your triceps as you come into a high bhujangasana, just setting your belly down. Deep breath in. Exhale, press up through the hands and knees and back to downward dog. Beautiful. All right, so we sent our right foot back first. We're going to step forward with the right foot forward. So go ahead and look up at that space between your hands and step your right foot all the way to the top. Good. Let the right knee come down. Bring your blocks back with you or on your fingertips. Let your hips sink down as you look forward and take a deep breath in. On an exhale, press into that back big toe, lift the knee away from the floor, and step your left foot to the top. Empty the breath as you fold over the legs. And then take your arms out to the side, strong back, strong belly, come all the way up, reach up, look up, and exhale to your heart. Stay with the breath. Interlace your fingers, send the palms out and up, lift up onto your toes, deep breath in. Exhale the heels down as you hinge forward and fold forward. Good. From here, plant your hands on either side of the feet and step your left foot back this time. Let the knee come down, nice and gently. Again, on your fingertips or on blocks, we want to let the hips sink forward as we look forward with the heart. Take a deep breath in here. Empty the breath. Good, now plant your hands on either side of this right foot, lift the back knee, and step back to downward dog. Empty the breath here. And then use your inhalation to draw you. Shoulders come past the fingertips, and then let the thighs and hips slowly lower down. Activate the Bhujangasana. A deep breath in here. Exhale, turn the toes on. Press up through downward dog. Back through downward dog. Good. 2 breaths. Good. Look up at the space between the hands. Step the left foot forward. Let the right knee come down. Look forward. Deep breath and sink in. Press into that back toe. Lift the back knee and step the right foot to the top. Empty the breath. Good. Take your arms out to the sides. Engage the belly and come up with a nice long back. Gentle bend in the knees. And exhale back to your heart. Good. One more round. Interlace. Flip the palms out and up, lift up onto those toes. Exhale the heels down as you move forward. Good. Plant your hands on either side of the feet. This time, bend into your knees softly and step your right foot back, but keep your knee up this time. And we're going to bring a block in where my right hand would be, and then I'm going to bring my left hand to the hip. And I want to make sure I've got all these nice angles, 45-degree angles in the hip, knee, and ankle joint. And then from here, I'm just going to roll open into a gentle twist and look back towards this right shoulder. If this feels good for you, then go ahead and take your left hand up towards the ceiling, or you can even extend it overhead. This is my preference. Nice strong legs. Take another deep breath in. And then exhale your hands to the floor. Get that block out of the way and step back into downward dog. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way forward. Exhale, lower the whole body. Inhale into Bhujangasana. Exhale into downward dog. Good. From here, inhale, take that up and back behind you. Go ahead and bend your knee and over. Your shoulders to the short edge of your mat. Good. Three-legged down dog. Reach that right leg up and back behind you, and then gently step it through. Good. Go ahead and keep this knee high, just looking forward, and then inhale, take the arms up overhead. Good. Building into our strength, creating more and more heat with each posture. Good. Exhale the hands down, squeeze the low belly, and draw that left foot forward. Empty the breath. Inhale, take the Good. One more. At the hips. Plant your hands on either side of the feet and step back with the right foot. Sorry, left foot. Okay. Left foot, now bring your block into your mat where your left hand would be. Bring your right hand to your hip. Take a deep breath in and peel your right shoulder open. Good. Looking up towards your right shoulder. And then inhale, take that right arm up. Strong legs. We're active in both the thighs. Deep breath in. And then exhale the hands to the floor. Frame that right foot and move the block out of your way and step back to downward dog. Empty the breath. Let your inhalation draw you forward into the Good. Lift into Bhujangasana. Now take 2 resting breaths here. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the heat building in the body. Good. And then look up at the space between the hands. Send your left foot to the top. And take the arms up overhead in this high lunge position, building strength and stability in the legs, stamina in the whole mind and body. Exhale to the floor and step to the top. Empty the breath. Good. Inhale, take the arms out to the sides as you reach up to come up. And exhale to your heart. Good. From here, step your feet apart all the way out to the edge of your mat. Take your arms to your sides, and we're just going to swing the arms side to side. And I want you to swing into your shoulders, so that's making the arms spin around. Everybody's looking good. All right. Okay, step back up to the top of the mat. Bend into your knees gently, just kind of like you're on the front of a jumping, what are they called? Diving board. Good, and we're kind of going to bounce less and less until we can find a little bit of stillness. Feeling that natural sway, that natural vata movement in the body. Feeling that heat, the transformation of pitta, and the strength, courage, and stamina we're building of kapha. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands up in front of your heart. Exhale all the way out. And then from here, drop the hands out and up. And bring your hands to either side of your feet. And then walk yourself back into downward dog. Beautiful. From here, we're going to bring the feet together as a triangle so that the hands are our steady base and the feet are the tip. And then inhale, lift that right leg up. This time we're going to keep the hips squared to the mat. As you exhale, draw the right knee forward and set it down behind your right wrist for pigeon pose. And then walk this foot back. Good. If you need support, because the hips can be very tight, you either want to stick a block or a cushion under that right hip, if that's what you need. And then from here, we're going to take more of a restorative kind of attitude in this posture and just walk yourself forward. I'm going to use a block. I'm going to rest the forehead down. You do want to rest the forehead on something, even if it's your arms or forearms stacked, a block, a blanket, or a pillow. And we're going to stay here for 5 nice long breaths. And see if we can maintain an even tempo. Inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. Two more breaths. And from here, just walk yourself up. I'm going to frame this right knee, turn the back toes under, lift your hips, and we're going to do our best to just step right back into a tripod dog. So this 3-legged dog, and then exhale the foot down. And bring your feet together, find that triangle, finding your base in your arms and shoulders, and inhale the left leg up, keeping your hips squared. Draw the knee in towards the chest and set the left knee down behind the left wrist, and then just slide or walk that right foot down. You want your toes to turn in towards the center line of the body, not out. Good. Inhale, and then exhale, walk your out. Again, placing a blanket or a block under that left hip if it's, really lifting away from the floor. And then rest your forehead down on a block or stacked arms for 5 deep breaths. Inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. Notice the tendency of your mind. It may start to wander off here as we move into these forward folding postures. They are very soothing for the mind and nervous system. Do your best to maintain some awareness. Two more breaths. Good. From here, go ahead and walk yourself back up. Framing the left knee this time. Draw the right toes under, lift that back knee, and again, step back to a tripod dog. So it takes a little bit of coordination. Send that left foot up and back behind you, and then bring it back down to the mat. Beautiful. From here, shift into your high push-up position, and then bring the knees to the floor. Bring your right hand right underneath the face, bring the big toes together, and take your knees just a little bit wider than your hips, and inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling. Big deep breath in, maybe even let this left hand fall behind you slightly, and then exhale, thread it underneath the right shoulder, bring your left shoulder to the floor, and walk your right hand up towards the top of the mat. Take 3 deep breaths here. Anahata Asana, heart opening pose. This is Ardha Atta. This is half heart opening pose. So we'll get there. All right, draw the right shoulder back underneath, the right hand back underneath your right shoulder, press back up. Take that left arm all the way back up to the ceiling, and then exhale it right down underneath the face. Good, inhale the right arm up. Let the right arm fall behind you. Really stretch across the front of the chest and into the sideways. Deep breath in. Thread the right arm underneath the left. Bring your right shoulder to the floor, and then extend your left arm up towards the top of the mat. Good. You just kind of want to look up underneath this left armpit or straight ahead. Deep breath in, long breath out. Great. Okay, go ahead and draw that left hand back underneath the left shoulder. Press right back up to your hands and knees, and then realign the shins and the knees. So bring the knees back underneath the hips. If there's anything in front of you, go ahead and move it out of the way. And then from here, just start to walk your hands forward slowly, lowering your heart to the floor. And you can either rest on your chin, your forehead, or your cheek, whichever feels most comfortable for you. We're going to take 2 deep breaths here. The hips are high, the heart is low. This is Anahata Asana. Opening the heart chakra, connecting it with the earth element. Beautiful. From here, shift yourself forward, lower your hips down, and kind of move right into Sphinx pose. So bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders, arms are out in front of you, and then pull your chest forward through the arms, reach up through the crown of the head, reach up through the roof of your mouth. Good, and then exhale, extend your arms all the way out for pranam. Palms should be together. Bend your knees and sway your feet side to side. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and bring your hands back by your sides. We're going to press up, cross behind you, and then just sit back over the heels and extend the legs out in front. All right, so we've already kind of warmed up our forward folds with our first Paschimottanasana. So we're going to move now into a wide-legged forward fold. So what I want you to do is extend your arms out to a V and then open the legs up. So you want your feet to be accessible. So even if this is your wide angle, that's your wide angle. Remember, this is your practice. I just happen to be the one guiding us through it. So I'm also doing my practice and feeling what is right for my body. So I'm going to take my legs out just a little bit wider. I take a deep breath in, and then just walk your hands forward. And bring your elbows to the floor. Good. Try not to kink into your cervical spine too much. So you almost want to be looking down at your hands. Keep both feet flexed. And let's work on 5 steady breaths. So let's inhale for a count of 5. And exhale for a count of 5. 4 more. And 3 more. Good. 1 more breath. And then walk your hands back up slowly. Help your knees, help your hips, and support the legs as you bring them back together. Very good. We're going to come back onto the mat. And from here, place your feet on the floor. Knees are bent. Sit up nice and tall. Extend your arms out in front of you. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly roll down. Activate the abdominal muscles as you start to feel the spine touch down. Keep your chin tucked all the way. Okay, here come the shoulders. Good, and then let the arms extend all the way up to the top as you extend the legs all the way out to the bottom. Good, give yourself a big stretch. And then bring your hands by your sides. We'll just pause here for a moment of rest, letting the toes fall out, rolling the head side to side. Good, and take a couple deep breaths as we slow the body back down. Good. From here, go ahead and bring the knees back up. Bring the knees all the way up. Shins are parallel to the floor. Take your arms out to a goalpost position, and then slowly lower the knees to the left. Good. So we've done a lot of twisting already this morning, so our spine should be pretty warm. If it feels good for you, you can extend this top leg and reach for the toes. Good. And then anchor in through your right shoulder and turn the head to look out towards the right elbow. Take 3 deep breaths here. Good. Release the toe, turn the head back up, bend the knee back in, and then bring the knees back up through center. I always like to set my feet down so I can reposition my spine and bring the knees back in. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Good. Anchoring behind your left shoulder before you extend that leg out. So find that anchoring first. And then if it feels good to you, you can extend that left leg out and take a hold of the big toe with your peace fingers. Good. Everybody is looking great. Be very nothing should compromise our breath. No. That's priority. Maintaining an even breath. Good. Go ahead and release the toes. Look back at the ceiling. Good. Bring the knees back up through the center. Place your feet down, straighten out your spine, and then hug your knees into your chest. Draw the chin up and take the forehead to the knees. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. All right, go ahead and set your feet down. Okay, from here I want you to tuck your right shoulder underneath you and then your left. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, press into your feet, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, all the way up, all the way up. And then exhale, lower the hips down. Good, inhale, press into the feet, send the hips up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. As you press into the feet, you're going to roll onto the tops of your shoulder. Let your chin fall away from the chest. And exhale the hips back down. Let the chin come back towards the chest. One more time. This time, grab your mat, the sides of your mat. And as you send the hips up, I want you to pulling your mat apart underneath you. Good. Should make it a little bit easier. Hang out right here. Keep sending the hips up nice and high. In. Long breath out. And then exhale, lower the hips all the way down. Good. Untuck your shoulders and just send the feet up towards the ceiling. Good. So if you have an inversion in your practice, I encourage you to do that now, whether that's a shoulder stand, a headstand, or some modification, maybe Viparita Karini with your legs up the wall. Whatever suits you, whatever you're familiar with, do a little gentle inversion now. We'll take 3 more breaths in our inversion, whichever one you've chosen, whichever one you're familiar with. And slowly, slowly come out of your inversion wherever you are. If you're in shoulder stand, slowly lowering the spine down 1 vertebrae at a time. If you're in headstand, slowly lowering the feet down and sitting in Vajrasana for 2 or 3 breaths as you bring the head back up above the heart. Good. If you're just laying with your feet up, we're going to bend the knees, bring the knees into the chest, give yourself a nice big squeeze. Maybe even wrap your arms around the front of the chin, tuck the forehead into the knees, and really give yourself a hug, like a loving hug, like you haven't seen you in a long time. Great. All right. From here, go ahead and place the feet back down on the floor. And we're going to extend the left leg out. And I want you to keep your hand on top of your left thigh. Keep this left foot flexed. And you're going to keep pressing this left hand into your thigh so it's really heavy in the left side. And then bring the right foot up. We're going to come into a half happy baby. So taking a hold of the outside of this right foot and then drawing the right knee down towards the floor. Feel this heaviness in your hip. If you have a sandbag here, that would be great. If you have a 2, 3, 4, or 5-year-old, have them sit right down here for a moment. It feels great to have that anchoring in the hips as we open up into happy baby. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. Go ahead and release this foot. Set it down. Extend out. And then bring the left knee up and in. Take a hold of the outer left edge of your left foot. Right hand to the top of your right thigh. Anchor down through that right thigh as you gently pull the left knee towards the floor. Good, 3 deep breaths here. This is a great stretch for the release this foot back down, bend. Take your arms out to a T, and we're just going to wind away, releasing any tension that's left over. You're going to leave your knees on the left side. Your legs all the way out. A little bit more roundness. And so having the morning practice, we're going to the left side. So we keep the solar side active. It helps us to wake up and be present with our day. Pausing for a moment on the left side. And then gently pressing and making your way back up to a seated posture. Placing your hands on your lap, making sure your chin is parallel towards the floor, or maybe even tucked slightly into the heart. Feeling how much peace and calm surrounds and fills every point of consciousness in this beautiful body in which we dwell. Gently blinking your eyes a few times and opening back up into this space. Good, we're going to move into just a few pranayama, and I really ask and encourage that you be honest with your practice and honest with yourself. And if these are not in your storehouse, if these are not yet in your tool bag, you don't know how to do them, then just watch and listen. Practice a little, but be very mindful. You don't want to hurt yourself with these breathing exercises. So the first one, which was very, very good for Kapha Dosha, for helping to aliven and wake us up in the morning, is called Kapalabhati. In fact, one of my first yoga teachers told me that Kapalabhati is the yogi's cup of coffee. So it helps to invigorate the body. It brings aliveness and alertness to all points of consciousness in our body. So with Kapalabhati, it's a forceful exhalation with a passive inhalation. So you squeeze and contract the abdomen to throw the breath out, and then as you relax, the breath naturally comes back in. But your attention, your focus, your doing is only on the snapping and throwing the breath out. So a few things to feel into if you've never done this practice before. If you hold your hand up as if it were a mirror and you want to fog up the mirror, so you go, that snapping that you get in the belly that you would fog the mirror up with is the action that you want to get with the breath and the body. So we'll try that again. I'm going to lift my shirt a little bit if that shows my belly at all. Deep breath in. Good. So that's the snapping action you want to get. And the inhalation is passive. So it's not, that's not what we're going for. You will hyperventilate yourself. You'll get super emotional. It's a real snap with the belly. You want to pull it back and up just a little bit. And it's all in and out through the nose. So we're just using that sound to feel in the body what that feels like. So we're going to do 2 rounds of Kapalabhati, which is skull shining breath. Kala is another word for time, and it's a marma point that's right at your hairline. And so practicing Kapalabhati helps to bring energy to the whole frontal part of our brain. So it activates Sadhaka Pitta, which lives in both the heart and the brain, and it brings energy to the whole body. It really wakes up Kapha in all aspects of our body. All right, so we want to first start with some normal 3-part breathing. So in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose. Okay, to begin, we're going to take a partial breath in and then snap to begin. We'll do 25 first. So let me start over. All right, so we're going to do 25, all count. Partial deep breath in and then snap. Good, empty the breath. Let the breath return to normal as you close the eyes and just feel the tingling sensations around the body. Feeling that alive and alertness. Kapalabhati is a Shodhana practice, so it is cleansing for the lungs and whole body. In fact, I've also read, I think this was in a pranayama book specifically, where it talked about Kapalabhati doing I believe it said like 10 minutes of Kapalabhati is equivalent to 25 minutes of jogging without the impact on your joints. So you get a cardiovascular workout just from practicing Kapalabhati, but you want to make sure that you're doing it correct so you don't get any reverse breathing happening. Okay, second round, another set of 25. Starting with a full breath in, nice long breath out, good half breath in, and begin. Empty the breath all the way out. Gently let the breath return to normal as you sit quietly, feeling the body, feeling the space around the body, and feeling that tingling sensation forming in the forehead, maybe even in the crown of the head. Gently blink the eyes, coming back into this space. One more pranayama for Kapha Dosha. We're going to practice Brahmari breath, which is bee's breath, which activates all the chakra points. It activates all the marma in the body with its subtle vibration. But one of the things that Brahmari breath focuses on the most is the throat chakra, and specifically the thyroid gland, which is in charge of our metabolism, which is very important to work on for Kapha Dosha because Kapha individuals tend towards Manda type Agni, towards a slow, sluggish metabolism. So we want to support that by doing practices that activate, stimulate, and nourish our thyroid. So we're going to do bee's breath. There are a few things that we want to be mindful of here. You can take Sun Mukhi Mudra, where you cover the eyes with the fingers and you let your index finger reach towards the third eye point. So your pinkies are at the base of your nose. The other three fingers are just along the bridge of the nose on the outside. This is marma points activating all the lobes of the lungs. Index finger at the third eye point, and then your thumb presses your tragus closed, which is this little flap on your ear. So really we're doing a practice of pratyahara. We're closing off all of the senses. All right, so that's what's happening on the outside. What's happening on the inside is that we're breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, but we're making a humming sound as we exhale. But what you want to do with the tongue is take the tip of the tongue and press it to the roof of the mouth just behind your teeth. The tongue is connected with all of the organs in the body, and the tip is connected specifically with the thyroid. So this is another way that we activate our metabolism. So you inhale through the nose. As you exhale, you press the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. And you want to have gentle lips. I'm kind of smiling and talking, so it looks a little bit more like this. Also, the teeth are not pressed together. They're just kind of hovering right over each other. So it looks and sounds like this. And then we'll do it together. I'm just going to do one for you. Nice deep breath in. Taking Sun Mukhi Mudra, pressing the tongue to the roof of the mouth, and then and then we inhale and repeat. So let's do that together. We're going to do it 7 times, one for each chakra to activate all those points in the body, and they activate all of the marma points in the body. So it's a really enlivening practice for the whole body and mind, and it's superior for then moving into a meditative state. All right, so taking Sun Mukhi Mudra, you'll have to count on your own. I will count mine. I won't be able to hear you, and you won't be able to hear me. All right, so taking our mudra, starting with a nice long breath in, and begin.
Thank you, Cory.
Thank you, guys. It's so good to see you. So good to have
Thank you.
See you again soon.